is ABC7 with breaking news.
We are in the ABC 7 Alert Center with breaking news. An El Paso man who's been on death row for over 30 years has a new execution date. David Leonard Wood was convicted of capital murder and sentenced to death in 1992. He was accused of murdering 6 young women and girls whose bodies were found buried in a desert area of northeast El Paso in the summer of 1987, prompting Wood to be called the Desert Serial Killer. Wood has maintained his innocence, but his latest appeal for DNA testing was denied by the state. ABC 7 obtained a court order that was issued last week, setting his execution to occur in Huntsville, Texas in March of 2025. This case was the topic of a Borderline Crimes podcast episode I produced in November of 2020. You can find it on kvia.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. It doesn't cost a dime. That'll help the channel out a lot, and I really appreciate it, right? Here at Rowdy Nation TV, we kind of like to keep a track of what's going on with the capital punishment in the United States. As of so far, if you guys don't know, about 4 or 5 people already have been executed in the United States, right? And David Leonard Wood, he got next, man. David Leonard Wood got next. And we're going to dive into his story just a little bit. But before we do, I'd just like to know, all my people out there in the YouTube land, how you guys feel about capital punishment. How you guys feel about capital punishment? Do me a favor. Leave me a comment. Leave me a comment in my comment section and let me guys know how you feel about capital punishment. And do you think this case here is deserving of capital punishment? Because some people don't care what the crime is, right? They don't care what you do or how you did it. They don't believe in capital punishment. Now, me, myself, I'll just let you know straight off the bat. I think that there's some crimes that you can't come back from, right? There's some crimes that you do that's so heinous that hey, man, you don't deserve to walk amongst us, first of all, and you don't deserve for our hard-paying tax dollars to be paid for you to sit up on death row for God knows, or in jail for life. You know what I mean? To be in jail for life. And after this, you know, the crime that you committed, I just believe there's some crimes that you just can't come back from, right? Now, and I believe this crime right here is one of those crimes, right? So we're going to get into it real quick. David Leonard Wood, now he was born June 20th, 1957, known as the Desert Killer. I said the Desert Killer Fox. I apologize for that, but I don't know why I was thinking of Desert Fox, but the Desert Killer. Now, he's an American serial killer, a rapist, who killed at least 6 girls and women in El Paso, Texas, between May and August of 1987, burying the bodies in the desert. While he has denied culpability for the crimes, he was nonetheless convicted and sentenced to death. Now, you've seen all of that in the beginning of that clip that we played, right? But like I said before, I wanted to get into his earlier criminal activity to see what led him to death row, right? You know, and have you seen people that you know, that you maybe have grew up with, hung around with, and they jumped off the porch at a very early age, and this was always into something, you know what I mean? Always in juvenile hall, always in, you know what I'm saying? Started real early. Just every time you turn around, they was never in school. They was always in juvenile hall, always in jail. And that pattern just continued until adulthood. Have you ever seen some people like that? And they're probably in jail or in jail right now. I know people just like that, man. I mean, might as well have been a life sentence, because most of the time they'll get out and they'll only be out maybe a year, 6 months to a year, and they're right back in there. And they've been doing this pattern. There's a lot of guys, I'm pretty sure you people know that, a lot of people like that, that's out there like that. And they keep doing this until they catch a big case like this one right here, right? Now, earlier criminal activity in August 1976, Wood was arrested on charges of a 5-year prison sentence. After serving approximately 2 years, he was granted parole and released on December 28th, 1978. I'm telling you, man, sometimes... You know, I had my share of little problems, man. Nothing real serious, but had my share of problems of dealing with the court systems and stuff. And I'm telling you, man, you can have a traffic ticket or a DUI or something, man, and they're giving you up the same time for DUIs as sexual assaults and stuff like that, man, which really doesn't make any sense, man. A lot of times back in, I know it may have changed now, but earlier, a lot of times, these guys was getting, like, patted on the hand, man. Now, for indecency with a child, he a 5-year sentence, and he was granted parole after only serving 2. That doesn't seem to me like this guy learned his lesson, within 2 years of what kind of rehabilitation did you give him? So in March 1980, he committed 2 rapes 8 days apart. See what I'm saying? So he got out in 78. In March of 1980, December of 78. So in March of 1980, he committed 2 more rapes. That's less than 2 years. So he committed 2 more rapes 8 days apart. In the first incident, he raped a 19-year-old female. And in the second, he raped a 13-year-old girl whom he didn't know. The 19-year-old girl, he knew her and raped her. He was soon after found guilty and given a 20-year sentence. And during his incarceration, Wood developed a reputation as a model inmate and underwent several sex offender rehabilitation programs. That just shows you the manipulation this guy has, right? He went and did a model prisoner once he did all this. He pulled the wool over these people's eyes. He probably never should have got out of jail once he got those 2 rapes right there. He was, he should probably, I hate to say it, I'm probably being too hard, man. But if you're a psychologist, I probably would have said, man, this guy is going to reoffend. He's going to reoffend. So after serving, okay, now listen to this. After serving only 6 years of his sentence, Wood was again granted parole. Okay, a 5-year sentence, he only served 2. 20-year sentence, he only served 6. I just told you people, we're reading this together. I haven't read this. I just told you people, a slap on the hand, right? So, like I said, after serving only 6 years of his sentence, Wood again was granted parole and released on January 14th, 1987, whereupon he returned to El Paso, his stomping grounds. They're like they say, the criminals always return to the scene of the crime. So he goes right back to El Paso, right? Shortly afterwards, he found a job at a furniture store, but occasionally moonlighted as a laborer and auto mechanic. In his spare time, Wood frequented various bars and nightclubs, favoring those with topless dancers. In addition, he was acquainted and even became a member of a motorcycle club. At this activity, he became had a keen interest of during his imprisonment with his charismatic personality, long hair, and many tattoos. Wood proved popular amongst teenage girls and young adult women, allowing him to have many admirers and multiple girlfriends, one of whom became his permanent roommate. Now, this guy, and that's how they do, man. I guess this guy was a charismatic. He wasn't a bad-looking guy. And like they said, that the teenage girls and the women, he had all these admirers and followers. They probably didn't know what lie up under that charismatic smile of his, right? They didn't know that this guy was a ticking time bomb. So now, between February and August of 1987, 9 girls, aged 13 and between 13 and 24 went missing in El Paso area. The first of them was a 14-year-old Marjorie Knox, who disappeared on February 14th. Now, on June 7th, El Paso police received a report concerning the disappearance of a 15-year-old girl, Desiree Wheatley. During the investigation, several witnesses claimed that they had last seen her 5 days prior in the company of a man with numerous tattoos on his arms at a convenience store. Now, 3 days later, the police received another tip about a disappearance of 20-year-old Karen Baker, who was last seen alive on June 5th on the grounds of the Hawaiian Royal Motel. The case proved tough, as witnesses gave conflicting accounts of her actions prior to the disappearance. Right now, so that was on June 7th. Desiree Wheatley had disappeared. 5 days later, so what? 5 days later, that's what? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. On the 12th, they get another call. You see what I'm saying? For 20-year-old Karen Baker. This guy is like a rabid dog. You know what I mean? He has to be stopped, right? All these women are coming up missing, right? So, like I said before, leave a comment in my comment section and let me know. I'm giving you all these dates and names of all these women that are being unalived or gone missing. And the only person that they've been in the company of was this guy, David Leonard Wood. You know what I mean? So on June 28th, 19-year-old Cheryl Lynn Vasquez Demukes, an employee at a local Whataburger, went missing in El Paso after going to buy cigarettes at a Circle K. According to witnesses, she was last seen talking to a man in a pickup truck on July 3rd. A 17-year-old girl named Angelica Jeanette Frosto was also reported missing. The latter girl was a repeat runaway at the age of 12. Hey, you know, if you got a young daughter or a young girl, if there's any, you know what I mean, if they're running away like that at that age, man, there's so much dangers out there, man. Those are the perfect targets, young runaway girls, right, for serial killers, man, and for just, you know, or prostitution or trafficking and stuff like that, man. And I hate to see that, man, because these girls don't know what they're doing. They're thinking it's so bad at home, man, that they have to leave, man. If there's any kind of way, if you know anybody that's in that position, man, hey, man, try to convince them girls, man, the streets is not the way. You know, you get on that street like that, the next thing you know, you're prostituting, you're in a strip club, or you may be even worse than that. You may be unalived or kidnapped or something like that. Now she ran away often, absent from her home for days and even months at the age of 15. So she dropped out of Henderson Middle School before taking a job as a dancer at the Red Flame. See what I said? A dancer. See, that's what the streets do, man. There's only few opportunities out there for these young girls, right? Now, a bar that was frequented by Wood. During the investigation, police discovered on one day of her disappearance, Frosto was given a motorcycle ride by one of the biker friends. A month later, on August 20th, the parents of 24-year-old Rosa Marie Casio contacted police. They claimed that she had been visited, that she was visiting her sister in Juarez on August 12th. And in the evening, she went to El Paso by car to buy postage stamps, but then vanished. On the following morning, her 1974 Grand Torino was found abandoned at a street with Casio's belongings still inside. Interviews with the local residents provided no useful information relating to her vanishing. Casio worked as a topless dancer in a bar in El Paso. Okay, guys, what is this telling you, man? What everything that I've read to you so far, doesn't it seem like the strip clubs was kind of like his stumping grounds? Is where he preyed upon these a lot of these women? Doesn't it seem that way? Now, in September 1987, 14-year-old Dawn Marie Smith, a student at Parkland High School, was reported missing. She had gotten into an argument with her parents and in June before running away from home, saying that she would never return. She remained in contact with them with some of her family members until August 28th, when all contact ceased. Isn't that pathetic that she said she was running away and she was never going to return? Sometimes you got to, man, you can't, I don't know, this is what I was being raised with. You can't speak that, man. You can't speak sick. You can't speak death. You can't put that on your tongue, man, because sometimes that comes true, man. You can't speak that. I don't speak jail, death, or sick. You speak those three things and you say, I'm this, I'm that, I'm never, hey, man, don't do that to yourself. It's kind of like cursing words. You know, that's what they say, spelling. When you say spelling, it's a spell. Words can be like a spell. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You don't want to cast that spell on yourself, man. You don't want to put that on your tongue. Hey, but like I said before, man, leave me a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about David L. Wood. His date is coming. He got next, man. He got next. It's on March 13th. And I'm not sure if he's going to be able to wiggle his way out of this one. You know what I mean? He's been in jail, man. Let's see how long David Leonard Wood has been in jail, okay? And because now it's here. This time is here, man. Can you imagine what this man has been thinking for all these years that he's been sitting on death row, waiting for the capital punishment to take place? You know what I mean? He could be a whole changed new man right now. I doubt it. You know what I mean? But he could be. You know, he could have given himself to the Lord or to some higher power that he may believe in, and he could be a totally different man, because this happened. This happened in 1987, right? Now, at the time of the offense, when it happened, he was 29 years old. He's 67 years old now. So the difference, that's 38 years, right? Am I right on that? That's 38 years from the time that he got apprehended, from the going to court and sent to death row and been there till now. It's been 38 years, right? That's a long, long time. That's a very, very long time. And only thing I can say, man, I think that this guy deserves it. I think he deserves it. David L. Wood, 6 people, man. R.I.P. to the victims and the people. You know what I'm saying? They said, if you look at his on his Wikipedia, it says 6 to 9 victims. I think they just can't prove the other 3. I think they just can't prove the other 3. And there's no telling if you got caught for that, because we know. Everybody who's been in the street, you know, there's things that you've done that you've got away with and you haven't got caught for. And there's things that you've done and you got caught for. So you know what I'm saying? So we all know that. There's things that people have done and have gotten away with. So we don't know what David L. Wood has gotten away with that we don't know about, right? So, like I say, leave a comment in my comment section. Let me know how you feel about David L. Wood. Unaliving date, March 13th. He's right now currently resides at the Palutsky unit in Texas, and the day of reckoning is coming. And like I said before, RIP to the victims. Rowdy Nation TV, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. We out. Of indecency with a child, for which he was convicted the following year and given